Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are making the most delicious and creamy eggs Benedict. Yes, eggs Benedict is one of the famous go-to breakfasts whenever you go out. But today we are making that delicious breakfast at home, and I'll show you a really easy technique making that perfect poached eggs as well as that French mother sauce, hollandaise sauce. Let's get to it. So firstly, let's make that hollandaise sauce. Why is hollandaise so technical? Well, it is a French mother sauce, so you're expecting something highly technical. It is basically an emulsion, which means you have to use some egg yolks, some lemon or acidity, and fat, which is normally butter or clarified butter. But don't stress, I'm going to show you a really easy technique in which you can perfect hollandaise at home. Firstly, get yourself a bowl. I would go for 3 egg yolks if I'm making for 2 people. So the easiest way to break and get just the egg yolks out is just crack it on a flat surface, open it up, hold the egg yolk in place, place your finger and hold the egg yolk while the white pours out. Once you got your egg yolk, throw your egg yolk in your mixing bowl. Egg number 2, flat surface, open up, hold the yolk in place. Once the white is out, simply just add it into your mixing bowl. And the last egg for your hollandaise sauce, egg number 3, and that is it. So we have our egg yolks here. Now the traditional way of making hollandaise is beating your egg yolks up in that pan before adding your clarified butter. And if you do not know how to make clarified butter, it is really simple. Simply melt your hard butter in a pan, let it cool down, remove the solid bits that float to the top, and you have clarified butter, which is also good for cooking. There's no need to stress about all of that today because I'm going to show you a really simple technique, and that is adding whole butter to your eggs in that pan, and there's no need to beat your eggs like a wild animal. So let's keep it decent. Adding that butter, just a few knobs. So we have our egg yolks, we have that butter. Now I'm going to turn on that heat because I have a little water in this pot which I want to use to heat this glass bowl so that we can make that hollandaise sauce. It is really important not to put too much water here. Any water that touches the bowl will cause the eggs to scramble. So in order to prevent that, make sure that the water inside the bowl does not touch your egg yolks or your glass bowl. So little water in, glass bowl on top, on the stove. All you need to do is give it a good whisk, let that butter melt, let that eggs blend in. Looks too nice. So I'm working with a very low heat here. You don't want to overheat that glass bowl. As I mentioned, if you go high, you're going to start getting scrambled eggs. Make sure you're working at a low heat. Once the butter is completely melted in with that eggs, it's time to really boost that emulsion. And in order to do that, you need to add in a little hot water. So this is around maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. And this really helps with that emulsion, which actually takes up that hollandaise up a notch and makes it even more silky smooth. And now you just whisk until you get a nice smooth texture. Add in some lemon juice, just a small squeeze. The acidity actually balances out that hollandaise and gets that nice acidic taste while eating that hollandaise. It's really important to add in some acid, so lemon is the best way to go. Try not to add too much. The first time I made hollandaise, I added too much of lemon and it tasted so sour that I had to throw it away. This is a really good forearm workout. Add in a dash of kosher salt, just a little bit of cayenne pepper just to give it a slight kick. And now to taste. As you can see, we have a nice texture. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is hollandaise, people. Creamy, not too runny, just perfect. As you can see, this hollandaise is beautiful, and it tastes amazing. I mean, how simple was that? No need to add in clarified butter or melted butter. Just throw in a few knobs of butter with that egg yolks, add in that lemon, salt, a little bit of that cayenne pepper, and you got beautiful hollandaise. You have just made one of the 5 mother sauces of the French cuisine. So that was the first part of eggs Benedict. Next is that poached eggs. People are so scared of making poached eggs because they are worried that that inside of that yolk is going to overcook. But don't worry, I'm going to show you a quick and easy method. So we can pop the hollandaise one side. Here I have a pot of water, goes on the stove. High heat, that water needs to come to a boil. We need the water nice and hot, and then we're gonna drop it down low and throw in that egg. So get that water up to a boil, and let's start with the poached eggs. So those egg whites that I was collecting earlier, we can actually make souffle, white omelette, whatever you want. Don't throw those egg whites away. Poached eggs, very important. You need to coagulate that white, which means you want that white to remain around that egg yolk. And in order to do that, you need to add acidity to that water, which creates a perfect base for coagulating that egg and making sure the white and that protein stays together, forming a beautiful poached egg. So very simple. Add in a tablespoon of white vinegar. Vinegar in, you can add in your egg as is into that pot. Then you're going to get all these white strands floating around, and then you need to kind of trim it off afterwards. You can skip this step. I'm just trying to reduce that effort, actually trimming off those extra white bits afterwards. So crack your egg, goes into your strainer. Now whatever runny white is on that egg will actually fall into the bowl, and we're left with a pure white, which will be easy to solidify in that water. This just helps to create a cleaner looking poached egg at the end. So if you don't have a strainer, you can take that egg and throw it right in that pan. Egg 1 done. So now I got a perfect looking egg. There's egg 1, egg number 2. Let that strain a bit. Look at that. You will notice the fresher your eggs, the less white that will be runny. So if you buy directly from a farmer and you know those eggs are really fresh, you're going to notice hardly any whites running through the strainer. The longer you keep your eggs, those proteins in those white breaks down, which then becomes more liquid, and as you can see, falls away very easily. It's also important to make sure before making your eggs that you keep your eggs out of the fridge for at least 2 hours. You want to cook eggs at room temperature and not cold. Egg number 2, water is at a boil, so adding that vinegar coagulates that egg so that the white sticks to that yolk. Do not add salt into that water. You will reverse that coagulation, which means that the whites will separate and break when it's in that pot. I always like to salt my eggs afterwards, much better that way. And now for the magic touch is creating a whirlpool. Now creating a whirlpool is really simple. All you want to do is create this vortex, so when you throw in the egg, this whirlpool holds that egg together and helps that egg cook better. So the water is nice and hot. I'm just going to lower the temperature, create the vortex in egg number 1, egg number 2. Set your timer for 3 minutes. 3 minutes is the perfect time to get a nice white on the outside and a perfect runny center of that yolk. So make sure you have it at 3 minutes, nothing more, nothing less. Don't interfere with the eggs when it's in there, you will break that yolk. The magic is happening in there on its own. It's amazing how that vinegar actually helps that white find that yolk and actually grab onto it and form that white outside. That is the whole coagulation process. That vinegar is so important. Okay, so 3 minutes up, let's have a look at those eggs. So egg number 1, and let's have a look at egg number 2. Now let's plate this baby. If you want to warm up your hollandaise, put back that small pot of water, throw in your hollandaise back, turn on the heat, get yourself some egg muffin or a slice of toast. I normally go sourdough toast or any type of toast out there. I have some egg muffin, which is the traditional way of making the eggs Benedict, so why not? Second egg muffin, some bits of bacon. Gotta love bacon. You can use Parma ham or any type of ham that you want. You take this off, give it a bit another stir. And now your poached egg. Gently remove them from the paper towel. These eggs can break really easily, so make sure you handle with care. Just gonna take some of your hollandaise sauce, throw that over, nice and gently. Give it a dash of smoked paprika, some edible flowers if you want to be fancy. And there you have it, the most delicious and creamy eggs Benedict made at home. Man, that looks so good. Let's taste, shall we? Now, once you cut in here, you'll get that nice runny yolk, and that's exactly what you want. So, break that. As you can see, nice and runny. Let's break that baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that, people. My God. Let's dig in. Oh my God. Oh my God. That hollandaise sauce just takes it up a notch. I mean, it is so tasty. One thing I've forgotten to add was salt. But I mean, that hollandaise has enough salt, so it actually salts the whole dish. Then you got the salt from the bacon, so you have a perfectly salted dish. But if you want to add more salt, some extra fleur de sal wouldn't hurt. Too nice. Oh my God, that is what I call the best eggs Benedict made at home, and you can too. Whew, that was good. That is so tasty, people. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. On the next video, we are making some biltong at home. Yes, and I'm going to be showing you how to take your biltong up a notch. So hit the subscribe button and I'll see you on the next one.